Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Ango. Today we're going to be talking about some wrestling news. I am getting over a sickness, so hopefully you guys don't hate me too bad, but I know you guys want your wrestling news. So we're going to kick things off with Forbidden Door. If you guys didn't know, Forbidden Door has apparently been set for a second coming of the event. Spectrum has announced on their website that June 24th is the penciled in date for AEW / New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Now, obviously, a lot of people are going to be excited to hear this news because New Japan and AEW had a very successful pay-per-view in 2022, which I think is a good thing for the growth of AEW. However, I am very intrigued to see how this is going to be built up. I think the one concern that I had last year with Forbidden Door was the pay-per-view build. Obviously, there's logistical challenges when you're trying to set up a pay-per-view between two different time zones. But of course, I'm excited about Forbidden Door 2. June 24th seems to be the date, which appears to be a Saturday. So we'll see how all of that transpires within time. But of course, it's something to definitely pay attention to. Guys, Stu Grayson could be on his way back to AEW. As if you guys didn't know, Stu Grayson was, well, he wasn't released, but his contract expired last year in May 2022. And AEW and Stu Grayson couldn't come to an agreement. Now, what's really interesting is obviously AEW has a storyline going on with the Dark Order, Hangman Page, and of course, Blackpool Combat Club. And a lot of people believe that this could be a big storyline in the works. And if you guys didn't know, Stu Grayson was tweeting about this on Twitter. Mox not letting go of the choke is a bitch move. You'll pay for that. That was a tweet that he posted at 10:33 p.m. After the main event went off the air. I actually really like the Dark Order. Stu Grayson coming back to the company is something I would favor. I thought him and Evil Uno were great together. I don't know exactly why the fans have kind of turned their back on the Dark Order. I thought the Dark Order was an exceptional group. They're one of the original groups where I thought the ceiling was pretty high. And for some reason, AEW never pulled the trigger. Now, it's very hard for AEW to pull the trigger with the Dark Order right now because there's not that much momentum there. But as we saw with Evil Uno having a badass match with Jon Moxley, you could start building some momentum even with that loss, which is something I think would be pretty cool for AEW to do. Now with John Silver and Alex Reynolds, and of course Stu Grayson, Evil Uno, you have everybody together alongside Hangman Page. There could be something very intriguing there. Mind you, there are a couple teasers where Hangman Page could be joining the Elite again. If you guys didn't notice in the backstage segment, there was one of the Young Bucks shoe hanging out in Hangman Page's locker. So maybe there is a story there as well with Dark Order, Hangman Page, and the Elite. A lot of big things could happen with Stu Grayson possibly coming back. It is something I definitely look forward to, and we'll see what else happens there. Guys, is Jade Cargill pissed at AEW? This is a really interesting thing that a lot of people are talking about. She posted this tweet today at 9:30 a.m. in the morning, and she says they are fumbling the bag heavy. Now, this was a tweet that was deleted, but obviously it did garnish a lot of attention before being deleted, and a lot of people are wondering if this is in reference to Jade Cargill and her booking within AEW, or if this is something to do completely, opposite of that. Now, it is really hard to say whether or not Jade Cargill is actually unhappy in AEW. I thought they've been booking her very well. I thought she's been doing extremely well in AEW, so I would find it very odd for her to be upset with AEW. To be honest with you, my first initial reaction to this tweet that was deleted was maybe this was in reference to WWE and their booking maybe of Sami Zayn or something. However, the timing of the tweet would have just been very interesting as well. So when I look at Jade Cargill and everything AEW has done with her, I can't really see a reason for her to be upset. I thought they've handled her exceptionally well. But if in the event that AEW and Jade Cargill have some issues, if that was to be the case, I would hope that they got resolved because Jade Cargill could easily go to WWE and get paid a shit ton of money from WWE. And if I'm Tony Khan, I want to absolutely 1,000,000% not let that happen. If I am Tony Khan, my number one job is to make sure that Jade Cargill stays in the company and continues to be treated as the number one star. And of course, I think just a lot of fans in general are reading into this. And one thing I always say about social media is don't be cryptic, because when you are cryptic, you got a lot of people trying to decipher what the hell you're saying, and they make up the stories to go along with it. A lot of people in this case believe that she's unhappy with AEW. I don't necessarily think that's the case, but when you're not directly, tweeting out how you actually feel and tagging people and you're being cryptic, that's obviously why people have an issue with it. Guys, Mercedes Mone, a lot of talk here about Mercedes possibly joining AEW. She is not helping with the social media aspect of it all. So Mercedes Varnado tweeted out the video link to obviously her interaction with Kenny Omega at New Japan Pro Wrestling. Kenny Omega quote retweeted it saying, "Our work with New Japan Pro Wrestling isn't quite done yet, so I'm sure they will. I hear sometimes they do some mixed matches as well." So here's the thing: Kenny Omega possibly teasing this idea of doing a mixed tag team match. I think right now this would be a massive move for AEW, especially with the correct build. But if you do something with Mercedes and Okada versus Kenny and somebody else in AEW, I mean, the money is right there. That is a very big time matchup. And with AEW Forbidden Door being penciled in for June 24th, as we mentioned earlier in today's video, I feel like Sasha Banks, Mercedes Varnado, Mercedes Money, whatever you want to call her, she would be part of a really big time matchup, and it allows her to compete in AEW while not necessarily being signed to AEW. And I think that right there is a massive thing that a lot of people need to understand. That is the beauty of sometimes doing things independently. Not a lot of people could get away with it, but I think when you look at Mercedes leaving WWE and doing New Japan, possibly going to venture off into Impact or AEW or whatever company she wants to go into, the good news is she could kind of get away with it without signing exclusive contracts, and you'll still get the matchups you desire. Now, with that being said, I really do want to see, if this match were to go down, a very big build for it. I would love to see Mercedes being part of TV. I don't want Forbidden Door just to be a dream match lineup. I think that was a big issue that a lot of people had with it last year, despite the matches being great. You want to see some big stories going into the pay-per-view. This is a big thing that people don't like about AEW. This is like, if there's one thing that AEW does wrong, it's that. So please correct that going forward. Mercedes, Kenny Omega being involved in the same match could be huge. Obviously, you throw Okada in the mix, it's very huge. And there's so many different people that you can have with Kenny Omega by his side, which would be very exciting as well. So for me personally, I'm just super excited to see what comes out of this. Obviously, AEW has been doing some pretty good television. I don't agree with everything that they're doing, but I've seen them improve a lot this year. 2023 is looking pretty damn good for them. A lot of big stories on the way. I appreciate your guys' patience with me as I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, but I will be back. And guys, if you want more videos like this, go ahead and click that subscribe button, ring that bell. This way you never miss a video. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. With that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.